Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 90 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
Final run into the 100 now, the big 100, which I think is in June for us.
It's near my birthday, isn't it?
It is quite close, I think, yeah. So it's quite exciting, isn't it? I think episode...
What, for the episode on my birthday?
Oh, the episode. Good week?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Didn't sound sure?
If you're talking about football, yes.
Yeah.
But just the rest of the week, just general, really.
Have I been a letdown this week in personal life?
No, it's just Alfie's been off school poorly.
Yeah.
Which has been a bit rubbish.
Yeah, it has. But football-wise, it's been a bit up and down, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of we tried to get crew tickets. So the last away game of the season, we because we were working, we were separate, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with a plan of what we were going to do. Shan deviated off the plan completely.
So I got a ticket.
Shan's got a ticket and I haven't.
But we're actually we're giving the ticket to
somebody else.
To somebody else. So because
Yeah.
I don't want to be going on my own, and I will not let Ryan go on his own without me. So
Yeah, no,
gutted about that.
Yeah, a little bit. We knew it was going to be a bit crazy to get crew tickets, and we tried. We were on time. We bang on when they were released. We tried, and there's not thousands and thousands available, unfortunately. So somebody's got to miss out. Unfortunately,
It says.
Yeah.
Well,
Me.
you technically.
Yeah, but
yeah.
There we go. Anyway, but on the flip side of that,
Bang.
the team played superbly this week.
I think you correctly put it on Saturday after the game that this is the best away game, or actually best performance of the whole season.
I'm not.
Do you mean away? Or...
I meant away. I'm not sure I completely believe that, but I think it's just after what we've been through sort of recently, the weeks and months, sort of the previous, it sort of felt like this is the best that we've performed, certainly in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Notts County away game, that was superb as well.
Yeah.
There have been flashes of us being good, but just as a...
Later on in the season, it hasn't been so
good. I think maybe just as a complete performance away from home, when it was sort of crunch time and we needed to pull something out, I think with all of them factors thrown in, possibly the best away performance we've put in this season. Because I think we have probably played slightly better away from home in some games, but earlier in the season when it wasn't quite as sort of like clutch as it is now. We didn't
concede a goal in the first few minutes.
Well, yeah,
that's always a bonus.
That is always a bonus because that's been a bit of an Achilles heel, hasn't it? We're just throwing goals away in the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But a very well-rounded performance in different ways.
Ryan's in a good mood this weekend.
Yeah.
Complete turnaround from when we played Tranmere.
Yeah. It definitely affects me, but what about you? Because it definitely affects my whole mood for the whole weekend when we not just win. If we win, I am, quite buoyant, benevolent, shall we say. But
what's all these posh big words?
What? Like what?
Stop trying to make out you're dead posh. You're not.
I'm not posh, but I'm just well educated. No. So, does it affect your mood? If we say we lose, does that affect your mood for the rest of the weekend?
It does, but possibly not in the same way as it does you. don't know how to put this. I'm quite an optimist.
Yeah.
So when we lose, I always believe, I'm not saying that you don't, but I'm just saying I always believe that we're gonna claw it back.
In the next game.
In the next game. So
Yeah.
it does disappoint me. I don't slag off any of the players or anything like that and go on Twitter and start saying, oh, so-and-so, Parky out, da-da-da. I don't do all that because, you know, it's football at the end of the day. Granted, I've not been watching it as long as you have, which, by the way, is 1989 for any of those trolls out there.
We've had a weird week this week.
My dad's had arguments with people on Facebook slagging us off. It's not been a good week, but we did have a nice message yesterday, which I will read out later.
Okay.
I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, so I haven't watched it as long as you, but I really have lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
You were talking about whether it affects your mood.
Yeah, so I'm disappointed. Don't slag off people because at the end of the day, it is football. These things happen. We're in a completely different league at the moment. I just think people thought that it was going to be a walk in the park like it was last season.
I'm not sure they did.
Oh,
I think some people maybe, but you know, certainly not. I don't think we can categorise everyone in that bracket. No. But I think for me, it does. I'm very good as a person outside of football of when something bad happens or you know some
I'm joking.
Something that annoys me. I'm very good at compartmentalising it, putting it to one side and just moving on. I can do that. But when it comes to football, I don't have that ability and I don't have that skill.
You don't have a filter.
I don't have any. When it comes to it, it just completely affects.
You still don't
everything.
slag off the players or anything like that.
No, but it affects my mood completely.
Yeah.
So but this weekend I've been much happier.
Yeah.
In myself, around the home. Compared to last week.
Yeah.
I struggle to shake it off.
You did.
I do because and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just the passion element of it. I don't know, but with other things I can shake it off and I can move on.
Yeah.
With football, especially with Wrexham, I can't shake it off, and I think about it.
Maybe it's like a trauma because you've like experienced all the losses and the bad times that Wrexham have experienced. I think it's going to go back there. You think, oh my God, this is the start. In a year, we're going to be talking about us being bottom of the National League again. Maybe. I don't genuinely. You need to see someone about that. A therapist. Maybe I need a therapist. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Or I could be a therapist. Just tell you to man up. I would never say that to you, though. No. I do struggle. It could be. I know people think, oh, it's just football. It's just a game. I had someone say that to me in work the other day. I know they were jesting, but it annoyed me. But yeah, things like... I don't know. I can't. Something that you're passionate about, it could affect you like that way. I do struggle. I struggle to just put it to one side. Well, hopefully you won't have to anymore because we're on a winning streak. We're on a winning streak. We've only won one. So? To start. Streak's got to start somewhere. Exactly. And Saturday was the day. That's it now. Yeah. Philosophy for the rest of the season, a streak has got to start somewhere. And positive. That's a positive quote. It's a fortune cookie. It's a fortune cookie quote. I am rubbing off on him. So let's talk about the actual game in hand. Sorry, I've lost it. I will start. So, sorry. On Saturday. Yes, I'm good. On Saturday, there were 3 changes. Yeah. We've obviously got McLean out because he got his yellow card and ban for 2 games. He's done his 2 games now, so he'll be back for Mansfield. Is that correct, or have I just made that up? You've just made that up. He's out for Mansfield as well. He is, yeah, because he got his... No, he got... Did he? Oh, he got it... When did he get his yellow card? I can't remember now.
I've lost my train of thought.
Well, anyway, he was banned on Saturday for the game, so he wasn't in. Barnet unfortunately sustained an injury at the Tranmere game.
Yes, it's from that terrible tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The tackle that everyone was going, "Ooh, I think that was a red." Was it a red? I'm not 100% sure whether and people were sort of talking about it, and then he because we saw he had a boot on after the game, didn't he?
He did.
They
suspected a broken foot, but Parky has confirmed that it's just. I think it was the commentator on the Wrexham game yesterday. Sorry, I keep saying yesterday. It was on Saturday, wasn't it? I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought. It's just bad bruising.
Yeah.
Very, very bad bruising. So obviously he was out. So Bolton was in.
Yes.
You thought that maybe he would be in anyway, regardless of whether Barnet was fit or not.
Yeah, I genuinely had the feeling after that. I've just been checking, by the way. McLean got his yellow card against Harrogate.
So he
has done his 2 games.
So.
Them 2 games in a week threw me, especially with them being at home. I couldn't remember if he got booked against Tranmere or against... Yes.
I thought I was right.
So he's done his 2 games now.
So he'll be back on Friday the 29th for Mansfield.
He'll be available. Whether he'll be back or not, that's a different question.
He won't be banned.
No. So yeah, I had a feeling that Bolton was going to come in anyway. There was a not unrest amongst fans, anything like that, but we sort of talked about it a little bit last week, where we felt Barney hadn't quite been on it for a game or two. Where some of his crosses where perhaps he wasn't looking up as much, and he was concentrating so much on getting the ball into the box. Sometimes he was over hitting it, sometimes he was under hitting it. Sometimes it was
around him.
Yeah, a little bit, and it just felt he was slightly off for a few games. And it sort of felt to me like at Grimsby, Bolton was going to start anyway. It felt like a natural change for me. That's something that was going to happen. As it turned out, it was an enforced change because Barney was injured.
Are you saying that Barnet was, people have been saying that Barnet's not been on it?
I was saying he wasn't on it, but other people have as well. Yeah.
What do you think now that this injury is going to possibly, because obviously he came back from an injury.
Yeah.
And now he's injured again.
Yeah.
So do you think this is going to set him back even more? And do you think he's going to be back before the end of the season, or...?
It depends. Look, I don't know.
Come on, Dr. Ryan.
I know. I don't know. I know they suspected he might have broken a bone. I think it's come out now that he hasn't.
No, it's just badly bruised.
Badly bruised. Yeah, you said that already, haven't you? And so it's hard to work out. Really bad bruising and stuff like that, it could keep you out for weeks. Then you've got to get a little bit of match fitness back, so maybe a game in the reserves or something, behind closed doors to get that fitness back. You've got to bear in mind we've only got 7 games left.
7 games.
I know, so it's hard to answer that question without knowing the level of the injury and how long, because if he's only out for a week, then you would probably argue another week to get a little bit of fitness. And then, after the 3rd week, come on as a sub and then, integrate you back in. But if he's out for 2 or 3 weeks, all of a sudden you're sort of drifting past when we're probably going to see him again. So I don't know, if I'm honest. It's really hard. But Bolton played really well on Saturday. I thought he was one of the standouts. So I don't think we really have to... In the past, when players have gone out, we've been like, what we're going to do? What's going to happen? I'm not talking so much of the last couple of years. I'm talking about historically before that. When we lose a player, we haven't got people, and we're moving players out of position to try and cover this and cover that. We don't have that problem anymore. And we've got, as I say, a player who, for me, was one of the standouts on Saturday. I thought he was excellent. Bolton was, and so we've got a ready-made replacement there who can do the job, and so I'm not overly concerned. I said last week that if I was looking at the 2 of them, me personally, I'd probably, on form, I'd go for Barney over Bolton. I think, if I was going to choose one of the 2, but if Barney's not available, I'm
Bolton's.
not on the floor wondering what are we going to do, because
I think he proved himself on Saturday, to be honest.
Definitely, I think there was a few players who really stood out. I would say he was in that top 3 of players who stood out for me. I thought he was superb. O'Connor was back as well, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, good old.
Did you already say that?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Well, yeah. So McLean was out. O'Connor came in to take his place. Tommy's back. No, and I think early on in the game he maybe struggled slightly. He'd had an hour midweek, hadn't he, in the reserves game, and
which they smashed, by the way.
Yeah, and he'd come through that, and he'd come into the game. His touch was slightly off. I think the one thing you always get with Tommy is you get Tommy O. You get that touch, composure, being able to pick a pass, being able to see things that perhaps other people wouldn't necessarily see, being in the middle of the pitch the way he does. He reads the game so well. And a few of his passes early on, first 10, 15, 20 minutes, were a little bit off, which I think is to be expected, because, he's been out for a while. He's just got to find his feet again and all that sort of stuff. But the fact that he came through, a full game, I think is really positive for us. I think it creates another headache, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I thought, I'm glad that he's back.
Yep.
The question in my mind now is, when he was out and Boyle was having a bit of a wobble, getting sent off here and there and all this sort of stuff, you were sort of like, well, when Tommy comes back, you're going to slot him straight back in that defence on that left-hand side where Boyle is. Take Boyle back out again. Boyle's been quite settled and he's playing okay at the moment. So you'd sort of go, well, why rock that boat? Because it's okay. So do you put him back in midfield like we did on Saturday? Or do you put him back in defence where he can read the game and all that sort of stuff? Me, I think I would want him back in midfield because that's what we signed him for. And that's where I think he plays his best football. But you're looking at it going, we've got loads of midfielders now, haven't you? Not just we've got loads of midfielders, but we've got loads of really good midfielders as well. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where you go with it.
Like we keep saying, it's a good problem to have, isn't it?
It is a good problem to have, but George Evans has got to come back. Okay. Now, for me, let's talk about two things at once because they sort of mould into each other a little bit. We had Fads back on the bench, so Callum McFadzean has been included in the squad. We had that one spare space, which we were leaving open for Anthony Ford if he was going to be fit to come back in. It appears, without hearing anything official, that he's not quite fit enough to be put back into that squad. So instead of Anthony Ford and instead of bringing in a free agent from outside, what the club have chosen to do is put Callum McFadzean in. Now, what that sort of indicated to me was that the club have decided to play James McLean in the middle more permanently, like he has been playing over the last few games before he got suspended.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So instead of having two left backs in Mendy and McLean, if you're moving McLean into the middle, that leaves you a little bit exposed with just Mendy on the left. Although you could slot James back on the left if you needed to. So I think that's why you bring Callum in, so that if Mendy goes down injured, if he goes down injured, you can bring Callum in and it doesn't affect what you want to do with James, which is keep him in the middle. Okay? So I understand the decision. Number one. Number two is back to the midfield again. Who the hell plays in the middle? Because you've now got James McLean in the middle. You've got George Evans in the middle. You've got Tom O'Connor in the middle. And you've also got Andy Cannon in the middle, right? That's four. Don't forget James Jones, but he's still a little bit injured at the moment. So I'm not going to confuse it even more than I have to. So you've got four excellent midfielders there at the moment. We'll forget Elliot Lee because he's more of a sort of like, he's an attacking midfielder.
And he'll never be left out of the squad.
No, but he's an attacking midfielder, so he doesn't fall into that four. So out of them four, the question now is who the hell plays? Insert silence for Shan to answer.
Like you said, it's a difficult one because they're all brilliant players in their own right. So I can't answer that, to be honest. I couldn't.
I don't know where you'd go with it, to be honest, because I think
really tough call to make.
For me, it's very hard to leave George Evans out of the team.
Yep.
Although he hasn't played recently.
So he'll probably be slotted in slowly.
Do you throw him back in for Mansfield?
No.
Probably not.
It's a big game.
It's a big game. Do you want someone coming back from an injury coming straight back in? Although...
If we're 4-0 up or whatever, bring him in for a few minutes.
I think it's something that you're going to integrate in as opposed to going, right, you're starting.
Yeah.
Although, you could argue our best midfielder. But I'm not saying he is, but you could argue that. So, you want your best players on the pitch, don't you?
Yeah.
But then who else? So we've got Tom O'Connor, who likes to float about, can pick a pass, excellent on the ball. Or you've got Andy Cannon,
I like Andy Cannon.
Who arguably is on such a good run of form at the moment. Absolutely fantastic. But then you've got James McLean, who you like then playing in the middle. You've decided that's what you want to do and you want to play him in the middle, which you've done for the past few weeks. Or
it's three in the middle, isn't it?
It's just two.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I know, and that's the problem. So you've got them two in the middle.
Andy Cannon and McLean for me.
Cannon and McLean?
Yeah, I don't know, because I just like them both. They're so pretty. I'm joking. No, I don't. Like you said, I think Cannon's like, he's just...
So just to quantify what you're saying here, you're leaving George Evans and Tom O'Connor on the bench in favour of Andy Cannon and James McLean. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just clarifying what you're saying here.
I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it?
I like George. I like Andy. I like James. And I just like Tom. Can we just do like... Is there such a formation as like 2-4? just have a whole pitch of midfielders.
I know. It's really hard. And I think one person who can't lose his place at the moment is Andy Cannon. I think it's impossible to take him out of that team because he was so good on Saturday, but it's not, this isn't like a one-off. This isn't something that's like out of the blue. Oh, all of a sudden Andy Cannon, he's been doing it consistently for weeks now. And I just think it's impossible to take him out. Yep. Who do you play with him? That's the problem.
Question marks.
Yes. Look,
just
comment on the video down below. Who would you like to see in the midfield? Because as you can well see, we have talked about it for quite a while and we don't have a clue. So I think, look, it's proper champagne problems though, isn't it? It's like, loads of clubs would love this problem.
Yeah.
We're not sitting here moaning, we're not like, I'm moaning because my gold house reflects the sun and my diamond shoes are too tight. You know what I mean? It's not that sort of moan. It's just like, it's a
good moan to have.
It's a conundrum.
Yeah, because we have got such an amazing team.
Yes. Yeah, I know. And it's for me, it's weird to be in this position where you're just like, well, which of the really good players are we going to play this week? You know,
every single one of them is good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's an odd problem to have, and it's a new problem. You know, certainly over the last couple of years, you know, we haven't really had such strength in depth before, and you've got to think about as well that we tried to sign Lindsay from Rotherham.
Yeah.
If we had, that would be another midfielder in that mix as well. Going, well, you know, it just makes it even more complicated. But anyway, where were we? Were we talking about the game?
We were talking about the game. So, like you've put down here, I couldn't have said it better myself. We did have, and I don't think we could have had a more perfect start.
No, I don't think. For a change.
For a change.
Yeah, as you rightly said earlier, for a change, there was a goal in the first 5 minutes.
But it was us.
But it was us.
Yes.
Look, Andy Cannon.
The Lion himself.
Yeah, the absolute Lion King. He found himself in a little bit of space. He went to go forward, and the Grimsby player sort of backed off him a bit, and he was like, oh, got some space here. Moved forward, and when he hit it, I was happy. Not because I knew it was going in or anything like that. I was just happy in that early exchange that we were going to have a shot. And I was thinking, when the opportunity presents itself, we're not stopping in the middle and looking out to the wings to play it out wide. We're in a position and we're just going to hit it, and we're going to start testing the keeper. We talked about shots on target last week and our percentage of shots on target of our shots were, and it was like down at 16-20%. And I just wanted us to start hitting the ball. Yeah. So I had this sort of rush of like dopamine when it was just as he hit it, going, oh yeah, we're actually going to have a go at this. Don't get me wrong here. The keeper had a mare because he should have saved that all day long. He didn't, and I don't care. But he should have been stopping that. But the fact that it's like I keep banging on about, and I feel like it's like a bit of a broken record. But it's like, if you don't have shots on target, you're not going to score. Should that have gone in? Probably not. But
he had a go.
He had a go, and it did go in.
It worked for us.
So I think we just need to be doing that a little bit more, and just getting as many shots on target. Look, 1-0, happy.
Within 5 minutes.
Yeah, and look, I was happy because I thought the wind was going to be a problem. We saw really early on, Okonkwo was taking sort of goal kicks, and he was hitting them high, and they looked like they were going to go sort of halfway into their half, and then they were just stopping in midair and then
doink.
Coming back. They were coming back at us.
It was really windy yesterday.
Now, equally, that was causing a problem. Well, it sort of didn't cause us a problem because we like to knock long balls now and again. Balls into the channels, balls over the top. And we have been known recently to overhit them, and them go out. The wind was sort of helping them not be overhit. Yeah. Because it was just sort of holding them up, and we were able to play balls into the channel for Paul, and for Ollie. And it sort of helped us. Equally, I don't think it helped that you want the wind at your back. So when you're hitting shots, the wind's catching it, and but it wasn't helping Grimsby at all because everything they hit.
They should be used to high winds though, living by the sea.
Should be, yeah, but everything they hit was overhit. Yeah. Technically not overhit, but the wind was just catching it, and it was just going either running through to Arthur or it was going out for a goal kick, and it just really didn't help him at all. So I think that wind in the first half really helped us. And then you sort of, which strangely, when we were going to switch at half time, you're thinking, right, the wind's at our back, that's going to help us as well. Because I think you just have that positive mindset then, don't you, that everything's going really well. But yeah, it was. But the second goal came, Andy again. It was a thing of beauty, an absolute thing of beauty. From the edge of our own box, Paul, nice little bit of skill in the middle. Played it out to Tom O'Connor on the right. Andy must have run 80 yards for this.
I saw Paul Mullen do an interview after the Grimsby game on Saturday, and he said, "I've no idea how Andy got to where he got in so quickly."
Yeah.
He said it was just mental, but maybe it was the wind like helping him.
No, because he was running against the wind, so that's
even more impressive.
Yeah. Look, the run was he literally
run his little legs off.
Broke his neck to get there, and I think that for me it just epitomised everything we had been missing for the last. Everything about that goal. It was quick counter attack. You know, it was a little bit of skill. You know, showing out in space.
People in the positions they should be in.
Yeah, people like Andy breaking their neck, running 80, 90 yards, whatever it was, to get in a position to accept. That's been missing for me recently. And it was just back to front really quickly. Great finish as well, at tight angle, and it was just brilliant. Fact for you, it's Andy Cannon's first brace ever in his career. First time he scored 2 goals in a game, yeah. That's quite nice. He's not known for goal scoring, is he?
No.
So but when he scores some decent ones. To be fair, he scored that one he scored against Blackburn. Really good finish. That second one, the first one, decent enough strike, but keeper probably should have stopped it. Yeah. But the second one, tight angle, great finish. And as well, his celebration straight out of the James McLean school of goal celebrations, where he celebrated on his knees in front of the Grimsby fans. I saw Grimsby fans running from the back of the stand just to shout at him when he was there. Love it. Love all that. But yeah, 2-0, felt comfortable, and I was happy.
Yeah,
I was happy with that. My prediction had gone out the window at that point because I went for 1-0.
You did.
I thought it would be loads tighter than it was.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like that. We felt really comfortable. We looked really innovative. We looked like we were in control. And yeah, I was really happy. I was, and I don't think that happiness has really gone away, to be honest. Paul made it 3.
Oh, this was...
That was another beautiful goal.
I don't know whether he meant to do that or whether it was just a bit of a fluke or what.
I think for someone who's been watching football for a long time, I think what you realise with that goal is that you don't have to be watching football for a long time. I don't know why I said that, but it was one of them where you go, because it was just a striker who maybe hasn't. Things haven't really gone for him. You know, recently. You know, you could argue for a lot of the season, even though he scored bucket loads of goals. You know,
100, didn't
he? Well, yeah, and you not for the season, but all time. But yeah, this season maybe things haven't quite run for him. You know, the way that you would. That was complete instinct. That was a striker, just instinct. The way he spun, hit it. It was just perfect.
Like a ballerina.
It was brilliant.
Ballerina on a stage.
Yeah, and it was, and he'd been getting a little bit of stick. Again, another celebration where you're taunting the fans. Love all that. Half time, job done. Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was though, wasn't it? And barring, I think everyone knows that when you're in a situation like that, it's very rare that you're going to come out in the second half and score another 3. It's rare, that is, because a team will go in at half time and they will go, that's not happening to us again in the second half.
Or their manager's saying, that's not happening to you again.
Yes. And that generally not what happened. When a team comes out, you might.
You're not just going to roll over and just it's 3-0. Yeah,
we'll make it. Let them make it 6.
Yeah. No.
What did you think was going to happen in the second half? Is it pretty much played out as you thought it would?
The second half for me was a bit lackluster.
Yeah.
But that didn't
annoy me or anything, because I thought we were, I thought we played really well in the first half, and we obviously got our 3 goals. I did have a feeling, though, don't know why, but I had a feeling that Grimsby were going to get 1.
Yeah, you said it was lacklustre. I would call it game management, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I don't think you need to overexert yourself.
Oh.
You don't need to push too hard. You need to get hold of the ball, hold on to the ball, pass it around, stretch them in areas where they're going to do more running than they normally would. And I just thought it was very much twofold. I think the first half was we bowled them over, with quick, pressing football. We moved it out wide. We played through the middle really well, which has been unusual for us over, the last couple of months. And we literally just blew them away in that first half. And the second half for me, the flip side it was just complete game management, where we just went, we're going to control this game for the second half. And I think that's pretty much what we did. I had a feel when you're sort of in that mode of just game management, there is always the risk that they're going to get 1. And yeah, they did get 1. Again, I think Arthur would have been a bit disappointed with that. Really well.
He did. When it went in, you saw him thumping the ground.
Because he's got beaten at his near post again. And, he didn't have loads to do in the game. I think at the end of the first half, they had a shot and it sort of stung his fingertips a little bit, but he was right behind it and he stopped it. He didn't have loads to do during the game. But I think as a keeper, you're always going to be disappointed by getting beat on your near post. But it was the guy hit it really well, right in the corner. But it was one of them where, I think Wrexham of old, maybe you would have been going, oh, here we go. They got 1 back. It didn't feel like that on Saturday.
No, it didn't. No, I had a feeling they were going to get 1, but I didn't, because obviously I predicted 2-1, so I had a feeling they were going to get 1, but I wasn't worried that they were going to, smash another 3 or 4 in.
No,
after, I thought that was it.
I didn't fancy him to get another 1.
However, they did have the most possession of the ball. We had 40% possession of the game, and they had 60. So it's like,
who cares?
I don't care, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I am surprised when teams have more of the ball than we do.
And they've lost.
It feels like, no, not so much that, because you can have 80% possession and still lose a game.
Yeah.
Ask Notts County when they came to the racecourse. But, it's not always just about that. It's about what you do with it. But I'm just more surprised in the sense of we felt like we had loads of the ball on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised they had more of it than we did.
Yeah, I was shocked at that stat, to be fair.
But maybe we're just looking at it through slightly biased glasses, perhaps,
100%.
that we're just focused on when Wrexham got the ball as opposed to when Grimsby had the ball, perhaps.
Maybe.
Mansfield coming up on Friday. Were you surprised that we kept Ollie on till the 87th minute? I'm not saying he's unfit. I do keep bringing up Ollie's fitness. I'm not saying he's unfit. I'm not sure his fitness level is quite there to be playing game after game after game after game. Yeah. Once you get to a certain age, you have to be in the super fit bracket to be playing all the time, like a James Milner. James McLean, I think, falls into that super fit sort of bracket. I'm not being horrible at all. Ollie just doesn't fall into that bracket of being super fit. So, did it surprise you that he was still on practically all the way to the end of the game?
It did to start off with, but then I realised the Grimsby game was obviously on Saturday, and our next game is not until Friday.
Yeah.
So he's got that long period. It's not a massive period of time, but I think it's not like a Saturday game.
Yeah, fair point.
It's literally Saturday and then to Friday. So he's got that time to
practically a week.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe you should have taken him off. I saw people were like, oh my God, they should have subbed him off ages ago. Why have they waited until the 87 minutes to do the subs? Blah blah blah. But I think. Don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
I think because of what I just said about the gap between the games, I think we'll be good.
Yeah,
I think we'll be okay, and I hope and pray that not necessarily the same team, but Ollie and Mullen start on Friday, because I think when Mullen plays with Palmer, Mullen is he's just different. There's just something different about him. I don't know what it is.
No, you're completely right, and I think you make a very good point.
Thanks.
about there being a week in between games. You know, whereas I think Phil tries to manage Ollie a little bit in the sense of going, okay, we're Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. He's not going to play 3 games in a week, so we're going to have to look at maybe trying to bring him off a little bit earlier, getting him in the ice bath, all that cryo stuff that they do at the club now, and then and then assessing him on the Saturday. Okay, Stephen's going to have to start instead of Ollie, But this time around, I think you're right. I think
I hope I'm right.
It was very much, like I said, game management, and it was, you don't really need to take Ollie off. We can leave Stephen having a bit of a rest. We can leave Jack Marriott sitting down, and because this isn't a game where we need them, and we might very well need them on Friday. So, let's keep them nice and fresh. Fair point.
Same team on Friday.
So difficult to answer that, because I think George is ready to come back.
Yeah, I just don't think Mansfield's the right time for him to come back, though, like we've discussed before.
It depends. You can like we said earlier. It depends how you fall on this one. Do you fall into, look, it's a big game, we need our best players out there, and he certainly falls into that category, or do you go, look, he is coming back from an injury, let's hold him back a little bit, and then let's go with a team that we know has performed really well the week before against a difficult opposition. I'm not going to answer, because I genuinely don't know.
We shall see on Friday.
For the game on Friday, we'll preview that in a minute. We will be live from the racecourse at half-time and at full-time, so we'd love you to join us on our lives. We're getting a lot more people on the lives at the moment, really enjoying it. The slight downside of having more people joining us, it's really hard to get through all the comments, so if we do miss it, we're pretty much at our limit at the moment for reading the comments out, aren't we?
So, yeah.
As we're going to get more people joining, it might be difficult to get through them all. But at the moment, we're getting through all of the comments. So, please continue to keep joining us for match days, because they're fun. We really enjoy doing them, don't we? Yeah,
we do.
Good. We do.
We do.
Yeah.
No.
What? What are you on about?
Just like you said earlier on about some like weird people around at the moment, being nasty.
Yeah, there is some weird people. We had Tranmere fan having a go at us, didn't we?
Yes.
Which it was just like, all right, mate.
Block.
Yeah, no, it's just odd. It's like, all right, yeah, crack on, get on with your own season.
Yeah.
I think at the moment, feels like relentless pressure.
Yeah.
Just feel it all the time. Which, so when you're thinking about games, do you enjoy that feeling or not?
I don't particularly like stress.
No.
So I kind of, I'm going to use a word that you use, but I compartmentalise it.
Yeah.
So I try not to think about it. But then on the day, I think I'm probably more excited than I am stressed.
Bit of nerves.
It
means it matters, though. Yeah. If you're nervous, it means it matters, doesn't it?
So when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, on a game day, I'm like, oh my God, back at the racecourse today, or if we're going on to an away day, which is very rare at the moment.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So, if we're going to the racecourse, it's like, yes, going as the group that we go with all the time. I do feel nervous, and I like to go up when the lads are warming up.
Yes.
Whereas you obviously don't.
No.
But I like going up, and I just like looking. I might be looking at their legs, their bottoms. I'm joking. No, I like to look and see kind of, who's.
Yeah. Get a feel for it.
Get a feel for the boys.
Just like creeping round like some Victorian pickpocket then. Yeah.
So nerves, excited, but I try not to let myself get stressed.
Yeah,
because...
I think I quite like the pressure and the stress of knowing your team are doing well and you want them to do even more. I think I enjoy that. I think that at the moment the club is something that the whole town can throw their hope into. And it you can feel it, can't you? That everyone's that we're growing and we're becoming more together as a community, perhaps.
A community.
Yeah. Some other results. So Mansfield drew 1-1 at home with Colchester. That was in an early kick-off on Saturday. Stockport beat MK Dons 5-0.
Was it like 3 goals in it was very quick concession?
Yeah, it was odd. That was the late kick-off on Saturday. So we after the Grimsby game, we started to watch the Stockport game and then we went to get food.
And it was 0-0 when we left.
It was 0-0 when we left. We nipped out, we got food, we come back and it was 3-0. And we were like, don't think we need to watch any more of this, do we? I think this is done and dusted. And it was. I think that's one of the, I don't know what I would have preferred. I think the worst possible result for us in that game would have been MK Dons winning.
Yeah.
Like they did at Mansfield. And, they're the team behind us. You don't want them picking up points and getting closer to us. Did I want Stockport to win? That was my second choice of results. I think a point would have been
better.
Maybe. It depends what you want. I think as a fan, if you're just focused on promotion and you don't care if we finish third, then, you just want Stockport to win. So the team below you drop away. Me, I'm a bit more of a gambler. So in the sense of, let's have a 1-1. So we're still in touch with Stockport. They're not really catching us up only by a point, and we've already picked up 3 on the day. So that keeps them back, keeps them a bit closer. And maybe we could still win the league. Because I know promotion is still the most important thing. I know.
But it would be nice to back
as a gambler, I'd throw me chips in on let's gamble it and try and win the league sort of thing. Because I'd like to win back-to-back titles for me. But I don't know. Crewe drew 1-1 at home with Wimbledon. Barrow beat Newport 1-0. We're third in the league. Mansfield are top 3 points.
We were second before the Stockport...
For a short period, yeah. Mansfield top 3 points above us. Stockport in second, 1 point ahead of us, but they do have a game in hand on us. We are 3 ahead of MK Dons in fourth, but we've got a game in hand on them. We're 5 clear of Crewe in 5th now and 6 clear of Barrow in 6th. Realistically, 6th is as far down as we're looking in the league. And the reason for that is Crawley are in 7th, which is the last playoff spot. And they're 11 points behind us. So we don't need to... I'm not even looking at Crawley at the moment in 7th. So, and I think the team... one step outside the playoffs, I think are potentially also 11 or 12 points behind us. So I'm not looking that far down. I'm just focused on the top 6 at the moment. And we're looking really, really comfortable.
We are.
News, please.
So, some exciting news for the women's team. They have been nominated for Team of the Year at the Women's Football Awards. So, round of applause. And also, Steve Dale has been nominated as Coach of the Year.
Yeah, there's some really big names in that as well. Emma Hayes is included in that. He was the Chelsea manager. What's her name? Serena Wiegman. She was the England manager. I think both of them have got like CBEs, MBEs, OBEs, one of them.
I actually messaged Steve, like he's my mate. I just messaged him to congratulate him and just said what a massive achievement it is. And he actually replied back saying he definitely feels like an imposter.
That whole imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I was like, my God, what he has done for the Wrexham women's team. Has been phenomenal, and I actually said that to him. So I think it's a well-deserved nomination, and hopefully,
Yeah.
We never know.
Yeah.
We never know. So, I'm lost.
It's all right. Wrexham reserves beat Salford reserves last week. That was 7-1. Shan was like, "Oh, look at that," and I said, "Yeah, but just look at the team." We looked down the team. It was like that the team who played in the reserves could have competed in League Two this season. There was a lot of really good players in there. Jack Marriott scored a hat-trick in the first 4 minutes, which is ridiculous. But it's nice for him to be getting goals, I think.
I think he's probably now thinking, oh, do you know what? I had that really good game on whatever day it was, against Oldham reserves.
Who?
It was Oldham, wasn't it?
Salford.
I think it was Oldham.
No idea.
Anyway, it was Salford. So he was probably thinking, oh, do you know what? Maybe this has got me in the team for Saturday's game against Grimsby. Obviously, it didn't.
No, but I think I would have liked to have seen him build a bit of momentum after that, and I would have liked to have seen him, maybe 60, 65 minutes in, with us at 3-0.
Yeah, I thought that would happen.
I would have liked to have seen him get thrown in.
Yeah.
And just to see if he could get his first goal, because you never know when you've got to lean on these players, so a bit of momentum would have been nice.
Good.
The final day schedule's been confirmed by the EFL as well. So the game with Stockport is going to kick off at 3 p.m. On April the 27th, which we thought it would anyway. So it's not
not going to be on the telly, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Humphrey spent 4 days in, I can't pronounce this, Lesotho with Kick for Life FC, international twinning partner. You can go to the Wrexham website and you can read full details there. But that's
really important project that is. So I would recommend going on the club's website and reading about that.
Also, Shan Harvey has been abroad this week.
Yeah.
Last week, sorry.
Yeah.
Not sure where he went because I can't remember. But they somebody had put taken a screenshot of the social media, basically what we've got, and it was just mental. Some of the figures from 2020 to February 2024, and the increase of followers.
Yeah, it was thousands of percent, I think, wasn't it?
Million. It was just mental. So that was interesting.
Season ticket renewals, they came out this week. Do you want to talk about this?
No.
Are you all right to talk about it?
No, no.
So the season ticket renewals came out. So I renewed my season ticket.
You did ask my permission first, though, didn't you?
Now, what happened this week is me and Shan sit next to each other at games, but that isn't officially Shan's seat. So we have like a group of us, and most weeks, usually one of that group isn't there for one reason or another. So Shan's ticket is a little bit further over than ours, in the same stand, but she's more in the middle of the pitch, aren't you? Sort of on your own, but you don't sit there. She sits with us in one of the spare seats that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an email saying that I could renew my season ticket. I did.
Everyone did on that bit.
Yeah. Shan, unfortunately, Shan has had an email saying she is unable to renew her season ticket.
At the moment.
At this moment in time. And the reason for that is because of potential redevelopment in the Macron stand. Now, we're guessing as to what this could be, but a lot of managers, Phil included, but visiting managers have complained over the years that they can't see properly because of the sun. We are wondering, because of the location of Shan's seat, the section, that maybe they're planning on moving the dugout from the Wrexham Lager stand over to our stand in the Macron stand. We have no inside knowledge of this, but it would make sense, wouldn't it? Based on where your seat is.
Yeah.
And that you're not at this moment allowed to renew your ticket because they're unsure what the redevelopment's going to be. I can only think that that's maybe what it is. Shan's quite upset about it, but they are going to get her a seat. She just has to wait. And
either in the same stand or in the Wrexham Lager stand, which I think there's just no way I would sit on my own in the Wrexham Lager stand.
No, it'd be a different thing if you're sitting on your own in the same stand, so we could see each other before the game. We could talk at half time, you know, and then we'd leave together. In a completely different stand on the opposite end of the ground, it's a bit of a push.
That's what's stressing me out a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll keep you updated about Shan's plight as to what's going to happen with that. But yeah, I've got mine. So I'm not rubbing it in, I'm joking. Some people who got in touch this week, we had Welsh Wonder Kids. Keep up the good work, Ryan and Shan, up the Worldwide Reds. Thank you very much. Darren Williams got in touch saying, hi, Ryan and Shan. Thanks for all your podcasts. You are very welcome, Darren. I have a couple of questions. I'm a Wrexham lad visiting back home for 10 days this week from the US. I normally watch all the games on iFollow in the US, so if the Grimsby game is an away game, you still can't watch it over there in the UK? Let's address that one first. No. So for anybody, we always try and, I know we've talked about this in the past, we always try and bring it up again because we get new subscribers and watchers all the time. So in the UK, there is a media blackout surrounding sport. The blackout really only covers the Premier League because They've blacked out games that are on between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. on a Saturday. No broadcaster can put them on in the UK legally. So the reason for that is that they don't want, if you imagine, let's say, Tranmere fans. Tranmere fans, if Liverpool's just down the road, so they might have a lot of Liverpool fans or Liverpool as a second team who live in Tranmere, for example, and they may choose to stay at home and watch Liverpool on the TV as opposed to going to their local club's game. So they brought this in to minimise the impact on clubs lower down the pyramid. So you're not allowed to televise games between 3 and 5 o'clock, and it's supposed to help boost attendances in our clubs in League One, League Two, National League, and even lower down. Support your local club was the big thing when they brought it out. So no 3 p.m. games are allowed to be broadcast in the UK.
However,
when there is an international break, then that means there's no Premier League games on. So if ever there is an international break, then you can stream a game. So it'll usually be on iFollow or
which is what we watched on yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell. Also, I was too late securing a ticket for the Mansfield game. What's the chances of picking one up on the day? Will that also be blocked? No, so that's on a Friday, Darren. So that's very different. It's just the Saturday between 3 and 5 p.m. that we're not allowed to stream games in the UK. What's your chances of picking up a ticket on the day? I mean, you would, honestly, extremely slim, I would say, for picking up a ticket on the day, but you just never know. You really don't know. Go to the club shop, especially international fans, because there are tickets available for international fans, only a very small amount. Chance your arm. You just don't know. We don't know. Tickets do become available, for ticket exchange, all that sort of stuff. So it's really hard to say. But as for tickets on the day, the club don't have on-the-day sales for tickets.
They don't have tickets by the time the game comes around, unfortunately.
No.
Tony Blank 474 may be right about Ollie's fitness, but better to have started Ollie even if for a half, and then bring on fresh legs in Fletcher or Marriott.
Yeah. So that was about the Tranmere game, that one. So yeah. Look, we've talked about. I think we've answered that. I think we've talked enough about his fitness. Reese, I don't know if you're Reese. You'll have to let me know. You're part of the same Discord group as I am. I would say Reese, but you might say Reese. However you say it. He's he runs the Dubai Reds. Basically, he's over on Friday. Actually,
he spells it the Welsh way.
He spells it Reese, but that doesn't mean that's how he says it. But that's yeah. He's over on Friday. I'm going to have a little chat with him and see if we can go for a beer before the game. But yeah, I'll come back to you on that one. An interesting thought, Tranmere, Harrogate ×2, Bradford, Forest Green, Newport, Gillingham and Salford. There's 17 points there. With Stockport beating MK Dons, we would have been promoted on Saturday. I tell you what, I don't like dwelling on too much on past games. I dwell on the game that's just gone a bit too much, but once they're gone, they're gone for me. I think once you've got another game in between, and I think, you know, it's one of them where ifs and buts, isn't it? You know, if this had happened, but if this had happened, you know, I don't like to think too much into that, because I know there's 17 points dropped there against teams that you would argue we probably should have beaten. I think that's his point.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, I agree with that. But you can't have everything in football. And if we'd have picked up points in them games, would we then have dropped points elsewhere? And you're probably going, oh yeah, but I get it, but you know, it is one of them where you sort of go, you know, we are where we are.
It's a depressing thought, though, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I think we don't like to think about it.
Move on. So we got 2 people coming over. I said Trace is coming over on Friday. For the Mansfield game.
Yeah.
We got Chaz coming over as well from the States. We're going to try and meet up with him.
He's got a very Welsh surname.
Llewellyn,
yes.
Yes, he is. So we're going to try and meet up with both of them. We'll let you know how that goes next week.
Crikey.
Anyone wants to get in touch, you can get in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or email us at methewifeandwrexhamafc@gmail.com.
So, as you are probably all aware, we have got one game this week, and that is on Friday, the 29th of March. It's at the racecourse. And the kickoff is at 3:00, so it's available. And even though it is 3:00, like we just mentioned.
Well, no, it's a Friday.
Yeah, let me finish.
Okay.
Even though it's at 3:00, it is still available on iFollow because it's on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last league game was 0-0 draw in October, and we also beat them 2-1 away in the FA Cup in November.
Yeah.
They drew 1-1 with Colchester on Saturday. They've last 5 games they've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. I hate when we're reading those out. Season results: 120, drawn 13, and lost 6. They're first on 73 points, as we are aware. They're 3 points ahead of us as it stands at the moment. Their top scorer with 19 goals
that's auto-corrected before you read that as Davis Keylor Dunn, not David Keylor Dunn.
It's what?
Davis.
Davis Keylor Dunn.
Yeah, he scored 19. Used to play for us. Another one.
Yes, I recognise that name.
Yeah, he didn't play very many games for us. Very much a talent that got away, I would say.
Clearly.
But he obviously, in the short time that he was with us, he obviously didn't show enough to warrant keeping him. He's gone somewhere else, and he's been a superstar for them. But look, it's the way football goes.
We've got our own superstars. It's fine.
Football is littered with people like that. Mohamed Salah was at Chelsea, didn't do anything, went away, come back to Liverpool. He's probably one of the best players they've ever had. Kevin De Bruyne, something similar. You know, football's, it's not just the lower leagues that this happens. It happens all over the world with all sorts of players, you know, and it's just one of them that got away for us.
Predictions.
I'm
scared about this game.
Well, weirdly that you should say that. I was listening to the Two Beards podcast on Saturday, and me and Adrian have very much got the same point of view, where I'm not worried about the Mansfield game or the Stockport game or the Crewe game. I'm not worried about them. I'm at all. I've got zero nerves, because when the game matters and when it's a big game, we always turn up. Look, I would say 9 times out of 10 we turn up.
You've heard it here first.
We do, though. You know, when it matters, we're there, and we really put on a decent performance for me. So I'm not worried about them games because I think we'll be on it.
10-0 then?
The games I'm worried about are the Grimsby, the Colchester, the Doncaster. They're the games I'm worried about. Mansfield on Friday, I'm not worried about at all.
So it should be a nice day then.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to win 3-1.
I put 2-1.
Have you?
Yeah.
I think we're going to turn up, and I think we're going to put them to the sword. I think we'll be level on points by the end of the day. You heard it here first, folks. There you go. First, folks. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 weekly Zoom calls. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that's for women. And one is on Thursday at 7 p.m. and that is for men. The best thing to do is follow Dragon Chat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter. And just another quick shout out for Dragon Chat. Dragon Chat volunteers will be on hand for a chat at the Kaya Park Hub on Monday. Just realised something.
What?
I was reading that out because I thought it felt like it was really important that people know.
But it'll be over.
It will be in the past by the time this podcast goes out. Oh, well, look, what I would suggest is get a time machine, go back and attend. No, sorry, I've just twigged. We obviously filmed this on a Sunday. But we have retweeted it out there, so hopefully enough people will see that in the local area that they will go and they'll go and attend that. But I would strongly suggest follow Dragon Chat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter. To actually keep up to date with everything that they do because they do an amazing job.
I just want to quickly mention.
Yes.
Wrexham Police FC had their charity game on Saturday, and they actually won. But as they tweeted, they're saying that it's not about the winning. They raised another £13,500 for little Louis. So. Amazing.
Yeah, congratulations.
Or Lewis. Is it Lewis or Louis?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure because it's spelled. Apologies if I've got the name wrong. But yeah, a massive achievement. So well done to everybody involved and everybody who's donated as well. It's just massive. Massive.
Absolutely massive. Look, it's quiz time just to round the week off. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay. Five questions. As normal. Some are multiple choice.
Do you know what we should start doing?
What?
You know on Mastermind when it goes... Oh, no, that's...
Oh, yeah, because we got the budget for that, haven't we?
That's made Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It is, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we don't have the budget for either of them, so don't worry.
We've got the chairs.
We got the chairs, yeah. Number 1.
Okay.
Some are multiple choice, some aren't, and you'll see why shortly.
Okey-doke.
Callum McFadden got reintroduced to the league squad last week. When did he last play for Wrexham? Was it Shrewsbury in the FA Cup on the 7th of January? Was it Burton in the EFL Trophy on the 5th of December? Or was it Wigan in the EFL Cup on the 8th of August?
B.
Burton in the EFL Trophy? Correct. It was, yes. Number 2. We scored 3 first-half goals on Saturday.
We did.
Who were our opponents the last time we scored 3 in the first half? Was it Accrington, Barrow, or Morecambe?
Morecambe.
Incorrect. It was Accrington.
Oh, do you know what I was going to say Accrington? But I thought, no, because we scored 6 against Morecambe.
We could all say we were going to say the right answer after we found out our answer was wrong, couldn't we? Number 3. What was the first name of the Grimsby scorer on Saturday? Was it Arthur, Justin, or Donovan?
Donovan.
Incorrect. It was Arthur. There was a player who they are names.
No, Donovan shot towards
that was in the first. Number 4. We have 7 games remaining.
We do.
But which of our remaining opponents has the longest name? That is, but not measuring. That is number of letters. I'll give you a bit of time. I can fill. It's fine. I can fill.
Doncaster.
Doncaster Rovers you're going for. Incorrect. It is Forest Green Rovers.
Do you know what? I thought I was going to say Forest Green, but I thought I could have swore we've played them away, but we haven't played them at home. Oh, my crap.
Unfortunate, that one. In those final 7 games, how many of our opponents did we fail to beat the first time we played them this season? No options.
Read the question again.
In our final 7 games,
yeah,
how many of them opponents did we fail to beat the first time we played them? It's a number. I don't know what you're talking about. Right. In the final 7 games of this season, okay? You're listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
How many, that indicates number, how many of our opponents did we fail to beat the first time we played them this season? To give you a clue, I need a number between 1 and 7.
Thanks for that. 4.
It is 4, yes. Mansfield, Forest Green Rovers, Crewe and Stockport. There we go. Well done.
Thank you.
Sort of. On the last one. Well done on the last one. The other's not so good.
Well, I got 2 out of 5.
Yeah,
Not bad.
It's all right. So, look, we will see you again next week for episode 91. Hopefully in just as buoyant mood as we have been this week. Don't forget on Friday, we will be doing a halftime show and a full-time show live from the racecourse. So please get onto our YouTube channel, subscribe, and please join us for that live. Please ask us questions while you're there. I'm quite malleable, to be honest. I'm a bit of a doll on the day. You can ask me to go wherever you want, and I will.
Not so much because I can't walk very far.
No, but if you want me to go somewhere, people ask, "Oh, can we see over there?" And I go.
Can we see the men's toilet in the Bold Road stand?
yeah. I'm obviously limited slightly. You know, I can't go running across the pitch or anything like that. But join us.
You could, but you would get a ban.
Yes.
So let's not do that.
Come and join us. Have a little chat with us all. It's
hopefully the sun will be shining and we'll all be in high spirits.
Yes. But yeah, we'll see you again next week for another show. Bye.
Bye.